we travelled to Dao Tien in Tien National Park in Vietnam.
We have 3 little girls, Trang, Nisu and Ni. My name is Marina Kenyon and I'm the director of Dao Tien, the Endangered Primate Species Centre. Tien National Park is probably one of the best national parks in Vietnam now. It's becoming famous for its wildlife. One of the reasons it shines is because of its primates. We can support the Forestry Protection Department and take confiscated animals and give them a good home. In Vietnam there's probably around 5,000 of these gibbons left, of the golden cheek gibbon. In Tien National Park it's probably the largest remaining population. We did surveys here in 2005 and there was around 1,000 gibbons. We've been resurveying over the last few months and we're finding that in some areas the population's doubled. Here we have Lily, who's a beautiful, beautiful male, beautiful big male. Gibbons normally live to around 35 years and Lily's, he's now 23, of which he spent 18, 19 years in a cage. Pretty much most of his life is in a cage, so this is a really, really hard test. Can we actually rehabilitate Lily and get him back into the forest? This is a family of gibbons who are in the last legs of rehabilitation, ready for release, hopefully in about a month and a half. We first rescued them in 2007. We rescued them from next to the toilets, living in a small cage amongst rubble. At that point they were very malnourished, in terrible condition. They've had 6 months of tree training in a small semi-free area. You don't really think about it, but probably they've never actually been independently in the trees ever before in their life. They were hunted as babies while they were still carried by mum. So this is actually their first time they have to travel in a tree on their own, negotiate things. Lots of the gibbons come from tourist stops. Next to the toilets you'll have a cage with gibbons. It's illegal, it's very sad. The gibbons often don't live very long. Secondly, we also get lots from the pet trade. Rich Westerners who buy a gibbon as a pet, think it's cool for a while, then after a couple of years decide that they'd rather have their own baby and move the gibbon on. The gibbons get fed around 5 times a day. Gibbons are really hard to put weight on. They are like the ballerinas of the canopy. We try to keep everything as natural as possible in the enclosures, but we do allow hammocks. Hammocks are the best thing ever for gibbons. If you want to introduce gibbons to each other, you put a hammock in the cage and within 2 hours they'll be playing in the hammock.
Smaller, but gibbons still like them.
Yeah. Although Dao Tien's a release centre, we do allow tourists. We provide fully guided tours. The reason for this is awareness is just as important sometimes as actually releasing the gibbons. In the last 2 years, tourism has slowly been growing. This last year we've had around 3,000.
It's genuine rainforest, something we've never been to before. You know, waking up to the gibbon call, the birds, the insects, everything.
There are some great animals to look at and sleeping in a tent overnight, it's very noisy.
Vietnam is at a kind of a point now where it can go either way. All the animals can disappear and it's gone and it'll just be known as this place where there was a war, or it can fight back and it's just on this brink now and we need to let it become famous for its animals.